Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and welcome to the 39th episode of the Woot Crew Podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Matthew, and we're here to talk about LEGO news this week, except that's not what we're going to be starting on, but we will be talking about it. Before we get started, though, I'd just like to give a quick shout-out to all of the YouTube members for helping support the channel, and a very special shout-out to Pyro per tier and above for pledging lots of money, which I appreciate. So, very special thank you to OG Chicken Boy, Craftmastr C, the Real Hoodie Gang, and Suntan. Thank you very much. And if you, the viewer, want to become a channel member, click the join button right next to the subscribe button, right in the description below. Now, let's get on to the podcast. So, we're actually not going to start with LEGO this week, because we have another topic that Matthew and I want to discuss, because we actually haven't discussed it personally yet. So, there was a little movie released in the past week called Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I'll admit, we were both talking a little crap on previous podcasts, previous live streams, about how we didn't think it was going to be very good. However, we have both since watched it, and we both now have different opinions from each other, not from our original take, necessarily. So, how did you feel about Zack Snyder's Justice League?
I just want to say, I wanted to see how long I can make it in the podcast without saying a word, and I've not. This is the first time I'm talking since we started.
I did notice that,
Okay.
But I was assuming you were just letting me do the intro.
No, I just want to see like how long I can make it without actually having to say something and it not being awkward.
Alright, well, how did you feel about Zack Snyder's Justice League, Matthew?
I really, really liked it.
I find that fascinating, because I really, really didn't.
Did you see the original Justice League?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Did you?
No.
Okay. So we're an even playing field here.
I in terms of the DCCU, I have seen this and Wonderful Woman, and that's it.
Me too, I think? Yeah, I think that's all I've seen as well. I've seen, like, parts of BVS.
I've not seen any BVS.
I saw a review of the original Justice League.
I don't even know if I probably did, but it was 4 years ago at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, this is my first time like actually watching the Justice League fully, and I really didn't like it very much.
Okay.
There was a few things I enjoyed. I thought I really like the Flash. I like the character. I like how they did him.
I would like a solo movie for the Flash. I don't think.
Well, he's getting one in 2022.
Oh, he is?
Well, it's a Flashpoint movie, which is going to reset the DC universe. And it's like it's essentially going to be like Spider-Verse, but for Batman.
Is it going to be the same?
Yeah, I think so, but it's going to be like a multiverse. Like it's Michael Keaton Batman is going to be in it, as well as like the other as well as Ben Affleck and maybe the Twilight guy. Like I think they're all in it.
Huh.
Which I got a feeling that the movie will probably be decent. But it'll probably just be worse than the new Spider-Man, which is going to be a very similar concept.
Yeah.
I feel it's going to be BVS versus Civil War all over again, where, like, DC proposed the movie first, but Marvel released it first and did it better.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious. I like the Flash as a character, and I do like how they did him. I think I still prefer, like, the CW Flash, because I did watch that show, but...
I haven't watched that show.
I enjoyed how they did him here. Cyborg stuff, well, it didn't interest me that much. I can acknowledge was well done.
I really like the Cyborg stuff.
I thought that was cool. And then there was a couple cool fight scenes. That's about where it ends for me.
I felt like the first half, like parts 1 through 3 and 4 through 6, the fight scenes got drastically better after the beginning of the movie.
It depends. Like, the thing is, the fight scenes were all, like, so CGI heavy. Like, there was and I know it's goofy superheroes, but like because I can you acknowledge that the animation was pretty bad, and I'm not saying that as a fault of the movie. Like, I understand he had a very limited budget. He was not running on a blockbuster budget.
I'm not gonna argue that. Like, some of the weird slow motion stuff with Wonder Woman was really weird,
but like even like Steppenwolf looked pretty bad. Like,
I didn't have a problem with how he looked, really.
Okay, well,
I think he looked significantly worse than the original.
Okay, so I felt like the actual animations felt a lot like a lot of the fight scenes felt like a PlayStation 3 game to me. Yeah. Like, it was HD, but like it felt very animated, and like the dialogue felt a lot like with the CGI characters felt a lot like, again, like a PS3 game where they like procedurally generate the mouth movements to match the dialogue. So like there would be scenes where like they're just standing still and their like lips quivering for no reason. That's not like
I
not
didn't-
why I dislike the movie.
I
It's
didn't-
just like
I
a minor
didn't
thing I
notice that,
noticed.
honestly.
Yeah. That's not like
I'm
I
not
can
saying that it
excuse
didn't happen. I'm just saying like I didn't take
Yeah.
note of that.
But I just want to let the viewers know that's not why I don't like the movie. That's fine. Whatever. I can excuse that. It's funny, but it's like that's not why I dislike the movie.
That's not like, especially because we know like the way the movie was made.
Yeah. But what I dislike is I felt like sorry, I know I felt like it took itself way too seriously.
Oh, it
to a
100%
fault.
took itself way too seriously.
Yeah, and like I don't like it. It was just so heavy-handed to the point where a lot of the scenes weren't enjoyable. Like, I'm sorry, we don't need that much Lois Lane content in the Justice League movie.
So that is the one thing you complained about to me over text that we did talk about that I would agree with to an extent. I don't think there was as much as I thought there would be the way you made it to sound.
Well, I'm sorry. Just the opening. So first off, it just like I saw an interesting take on Twitter that like the two Justice Leagues are two opposite ends of a spectrum. The original is purely corporate with no like heart into it, and this is purely heart with like no checks and balances. Because I feel like if the true Justice League came out where Snyder made it and it was released as a blockbuster, it wouldn't have been this movie because there would have been some checks and balances from DC. It would be closer to this than it is to the final version. However, it would not have been this movie. And I feel like he wants to be really artsy, which fine, but like I'm sorry, like it was just so over the top. Like the movie opens on spoilers for Justice League, by the way. The movie opens on like a 5-minute scene of just Superman screaming. 5 minutes straight, man. We timed it. So also, I just want to mention, I watched the movie with my roommate and one of our friends, and both those, I'm not a huge DC fan, but those two are both huge DC fans and were actually excited for this and felt the same way I did. I want to mention that. This is not just me being an ignorant fan. They agreed with me.
Did either of them like it?
No, not very
wow.
much. They said they're like, I think it's better than the original, but they were like, yeah, no, it's not. They probably have more criticisms than me because they're such big fans of the comics. Like
The one thing I don't completely understand is some people are like, "Oh, this is the greatest comic book movie ever made." Like, no, you're lying to yourself if you think it is the best. But I had so much fun watching it, and I
cannot agree because like I felt like the fun there was definitely fun in there, but the fun was so displaced with such like just filler.
I don't know.
Like
it felt like a bit of a mini series to me, and I liked all the Batman because like I like Batman, and I have not seen Ben Affleck as Batman, but I think he was a very good Batman.
He's a fine character. He's not a great Batman though, I feel.
I liked him as Batman.
But my point is that, like, every scene just felt like it dragged on to me. Like that, going back to the whole Lois Lane thing. So after the Superman screen scene, there's like another 5-minute scene where she's walking in the dark, in the rain, and sad music plays, and like you see black roses pop up on screen. I'm like, come on. Come on.
I don't think I found all that as offensive as you did.
It was just like very like if this was Superman 2, maybe I get that they need to bring Superman back somehow, but like this is the Justice League. My issue is like if it was just Lois Lane scenes, that'd be one thing, but they had to give every character this deep emotional backstory in this movie because Flash and Cyborg had to be established, but they also had to. Wonder Woman's whole race was killed, and Aquaman's friends are getting hurt, and I don't even know what's going on with Batman in this. He's just always sad. And like, and then in the final fight scene, they all have their emotional overcoming. They're like, "I'm doing this for you," character, and it was just back to back. And I'm like, that doesn't work in a group. You could have one or two characters go through an arc, but like, the point of a group movie, in my opinion, isn't to like have every character have their entire arc over the course of one film. Like,
but I don't think they all had arcs over the course of one movie. Aquaman was barely in it. Wonder Woman has had her, like, she did not have an arc in this movie.
Yeah.
Batman did not have an arc in this movie.
No,
Superman did not really have an arc in this movie.
No, he just came back to life and attacked them and then went off to a cornfield.
Like, the only characters that really had it, honestly, the only ones who really had an arc were Cyborg and Flash, and even then, Flash didn't have an arc. He didn't change as a character. Cyborg
Right,
had
but still, the whole like scene where he's like resetting the thing, he's like, Dad, if this is the last time I see you, like,
but that's not an arc. That's just like an emotional moment.
right, but that's all they is. They needed that emotional moment for so many characters. Like, we had the Lois Lane stuff, you had the Cyborg stuff, you had the Flash stuff, and that's like not. It just felt goofy to me in this big movie, and that was so much of the because there was what 3 fight scenes that probably totaled maybe an hour of the film, and I just didn't find the in between that exciting at all.
I don't know. I think I might also be more of a casual like. So you're not really a DC fan at all, right?
No,
Yeah.
I mean I like Batman.
So
I like Flash is probably the character I care most about in that movie.
I'm probably in like a in-between spot of you and your friends where I'm not a super big DC fan, but I definitely like DC enough to get enjoyment out of this movie. And
Yeah.
that's what I got enjoyment. This movie gave me very big Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, where it's objectively kind of not very good, but also I enjoyed the hell out of it because I went into it just like kind of wanting to have fun. I've not watched a movie in like 6 months or so.
Yeah.
So it was nice to like spend 2 nights watching one really, really obnoxiously long movie.
Yeah.
Um, I enjoyed pretty much the whole way through. There were things I don't even remember what they were, but I'm like, wow, that's goofy. But like,
See, it reminded me a lot of Age of Ultron in that it had a lot of ideas, and the ideas weren't inherently bad, but there was the like they all just felt kind of they didn't like mesh together for me. They just felt like a bunch of different things going on that didn't become one cohesive film. Like
I don't know. I thought it felt cohesive. Like there was a clear story throughout.
what was Martian Manhunter doing, man? What
I
was
don't
he
know
doing?
why that was there. Like, I don't.
Why do we have a 10-minute scene of Lois talking to Superman's mother, and then it revealed Superman's mother was Martian Manhunter, and Martian Manhunter was just some random like cop? Like,
So I don't know what the deal with that is. Especially, I don't know why they left that in like this cut because they know there's nothing else coming.
well, that's another thing I had issue with is like, I feel like a lot of the scenes in this movie were to set up future movies that aren't coming.
Yeah,
That's very heavy in the epilogue, but
the most of the epilogue could have been cut out.
yes. Like, what? I'm sorry. The Batman dream sequence
That
was
did not
only
need to be
made
there.
for trailers.
That did not need to be there.
No, not at all.
In fact,
like,
when I went to the epilogue, I'm like, did I like miss part of the movie?
yeah, I'm like, we got to that. Like, where's the Joker?
Yeah.
He was in the trailer for this movie, but no, it was just some random epilogue for a movie that was like planned to maybe be made one day, but actually wasn't. Like, it's never happening.
Yeah, no, because there were plans for a Nightmareverse movie or something like that.
Yeah, but that was like way down the line. And I thought this like, and I thought this movie was like gonna add Darkseid in as the main villain, but no, he just appears at like a portal. He never actually shows up in the film.
It felt very similar in a way to like the Loki Thanos thing, except not done as well.
I was thinking more similar to Guardians, how
Yeah.
Ronan was sent by Thanos, and you see Thanos, but like they never actually fight him in that movie. But then again, Darkseid's never happening in the DCEU.
Yeah.
Like, that's not happening now, so I don't know. And yeah, Steppenwolf I hated as a character. He was just so nothing to me.
He was just a stupid villain, but it's fun.
The
I had fun.
I don't have. I prefer characters that like number one the CGI I couldn't enjoy the fight scenes because they were all because he was completely CGI, and then like everyone fighting him is completely CGI. So it was just like I don't like just make the movie animated at that point, right? Just do an animated movie.
I don't know. My other thing is that I really like their costumes in this movie.
See, I disagree. Wonder Woman's is cool. That's about it. That's about it. I think I don't like Flash in armor. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I prefer Flash in more like a skin tight suit. I think that makes more sense for him being a runner. Superman's black suit is the edgiest, stupidest thing I've ever seen. I'm sure it's something from the comics, but
it is. I know it definitely is something from the comics, and there's like more to it that Zack Snyder that was one of the few things he wasn't allowed to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's like long hair Superman with a beard, and they were like, no, that's really stupid. No one wants to see that. So he was able to do the black suit, and that's it.
But it's still really edgy. I don't. It didn't need to be that. And
Well,
then
wait, I think the black suit is like a Kryptonian suit because in the Lego CMF, his parents were wearing a black suit or something.
it just feels really edgy to me. I'm sorry. It does. And then what? Batman. I hate that bat symbol for him. It's just so chunky.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bat suit. I don't like dislike it.
Cyborg was cool. I agree with Cyborg. It was weird how robotic he was, because I think in most iterations he is like he's more than just a head.
Yeah.
But it was fine. It was very CGI, but he was fine. And that's all of them, right?
Aquaman.
Aquaman. Yeah, it just.
I mean, I guess it comes down to personal preference also, but
Yeah. Okay, and then my biggest complaint with the movie is that's just really ugly to look at. I hate the colors.
I did not have that problem at all.
It felt so gray, and like even the colors in the film were so like Amazon is supposed to be this beautiful, like lush place, and it is just like this dull, like it's only like the Lego olive green color, right? That's the color of the Amazon there. Like it should be this vibrant green. Like why is everything so gray?
I got very strong Pirates of the Caribbean vibes from this movie, and like I don't know, they just both give me vibes of like the kind of movie I would go back and watch just to have fun. Like I liked that it was 4 hours long, honestly.
That's what I was hoping for, but so little of that runtime was fun for me, and that was the issue.
Okay.
Like the fight scene, I like the 20 seconds of the Wonder Woman fight scene at the beginning, and then there was the Steppenwolf fight scene where they. Because another thing is, like, I didn't care about the Amazon fight scene. I didn't care about the Atlantis fight scene. Like, those... Because they didn't involve the Justice League. Like... And I feel like those both went... they were, like, driving forces for the plot, but I feel like they went on way too long. Like, get to the Justice League, because we only got, 2 fight scenes with them?
Yeah.
So... And My roommate said that he felt like those 2 were only in the film because Snyder was salty he didn't get to direct Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
I mean,
because he's done the other DC. And for the record, for the viewers, so just so they know, I think Snyder is a very cool man. He's been like dunking on like terrible people a lot recently.
What do you mean?
There's been like the very like the subsects of like the Star Wars community that like drove Kelly Marie Tran off Twitter and stuff. He's been they've been like it's a lot of them, not all obviously, but a lot of those people are overlap with the people who are advocating for the Snyder Cut, and he like publicly like said like, yeah, I don't support that, that's terrible, I don't support you or your company. And it's really fun. I think he's a really cool guy, and I appreciate that he was able to make his artistic
other thing
vision.
Is that he's very clearly a huge fan of DC.
Yeah.
And
I do appreciate it in that sense. I just didn't enjoy the movie.
I mean, that's fair. I'm not, like...
Yeah.
It is not a cinematic masterpiece like some people are making it out to be. It is not close to the best superhero movie ever.
I think it's not even close to any of the... I think the only Avengers it comes close to is Age of Ultron.
I think it's better than Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I have to watch both again to say for sure, but... Yeah, I'd say original Infinity War and Endgame outweigh it by a ton. Because like, I see people like... This is better than every Marvel movie. Like, no.
Yeah, I don't think it's better than every Marvel movie. I think it was a fun watching experience, and I'm kind of sad we're not going to get anything else from them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's... I don't know.
I forget that, like, there are other movies in this universe, though. Like, Birds of Prey exists. No one saw that.
Yeah, no. And this is something else I talked about, but, like... This universe makes no sense for general audiences right now.
Yeah.
Like, people who are big into, like, fandom culture, like, will understand, like, oh, this is, like, the difference between universes and stuff, but, like, it started in 2008 when... So, The Dark Knight came out the same time as Iron Man, which started the MCU, but Dark Knight obviously did not start the DCEU. And then 2011, MCU's up and running, and then DC comes out with Green Lantern.
Was that DCEU?
No, which is not DCEU, but then only a year later, or it was only a year or two later, then Man of
2015,
Steel comes out.
2015.
Yeah, so then, 2 years later, Man of Steel comes out, which is really close to Green Lantern, but that is, like, Man of Steel is the start of the DCEU, but Green Lantern's not a part of it, and then it was like 2016 was BVS was the next one?
Yeah.
So, like, there was a shorter gap between Green Lantern and Man of Steel, but those are separate universes, but Man of Steel and BVS
Wait,
are the
was
same.
there nothing in between BVS and Man?
No, it was literally, that's the thing, they tried to hop right into, like, where Marvel was, and that's why Civil War was better than BVS.
It's just, I don't understand, like, it feels like they really stumbled. Like, I feel like we should have gotten a solo movie for all 6 Justice Leaguers first.
Right, yeah. Well, and I think I would have enjoyed the movie more if they didn't have to establish Flash and Cyborg in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, or even if Flash got his, like, the Cyborg stuff was integrated into the plot well enough
Well, because
that...
we had not gotten Black Widow or Hawkeye info before Avengers.
But also, they weren't that... No, we had gotten Black Widow. I think we'd actually gotten both.
Barely.
I haven't seen the early MCU movie. No, Black Widow is like a main character in Iron Man 2.
Is she? I haven't seen Iron Man 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, she is. And I think Hawkeye might be in Thor.
I think he's in Thor, but I don't think he's like a main character.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Hulk movie?
The Hulk movie?
Yeah.
What?
It's in the MCU, but it isn't in the MCU.
Yeah, that one's a little rough. But, like, anyway, back to what I was saying about... So, BVS, and then there was Suicide Squad, which stunk, and then they had Wonder Woman was fun, I enjoyed that.
I liked Wonder Woman.
But then Joker came out, like, what, 2 years ago? And that's...
18.
Yeah.
Or 19.
And that's not in the DCEU, but it came out...
Why is it DCEU?
It's the DC Extended Universe, because it's not... I don't know. Maybe it's not exclusively cinematic.
Oh.
I don't know. But, so Joker's not a part of it, but, like, Wonder Woman 84 is, and that came out after the fact.
Yeah.
And then, like, we don't even know if Suicide Squad 2 is part of it or not, because, like, it has some of the same actors, but it's no longer called Suicide Squad 2, it's called the Suicide Squad. And, like, I don't know, man. I'm excited for that movie, by the way. That movie looks good. Because it's James Gunn doing it.
Oh.
And from how it looks, it's essentially the Lego Batman movie in live action.
Is there a trailer for it?
I don't know if there's a trailer, but the cast list is out. And they're doing the same thing as Lego Batman, where they are having, like, all the stupid villains from the comics, like, as a part of Suicide Squad.
Oh.
So, like, Polka Dot Man's in it.
Hell yeah.
There's Arm Fall Off Boy. Can you guess what his superpower is?
Let me guess. His arms fall off.
Yeah, so there is an actual DC character called Arm Fall Off Boy. That's not a joke. The character in Suicide Squad is not called Arm Fall Off Boy. However, it is a new character who has the ability that his arms fall off, so people assume it is Arm Fall Off Boy. They just changed his name for the movie because Arm Fall Off Boy is stupid.
What kind of ability is that?
His power is he can detach his arms and use them as a blunt weapon. He hits people. I don't know. But he's going to be in Suicide Squad. His name's TDK in this movie.
Huh.
Which we don't know what it stands for, but people will assume it's the Detachable Kid. And the Joker's not going to be in this movie.
That's sad.
Neither Joker.
The Joker, baby. I feel like...
Also, the worst part, they didn't say we live in a society in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, okay. That did make me a little mad. I had to wait 4 hours to see that scene just for them not to say we live in a society.
I mean, Joker said some other things that I'm not going to repeat on this podcast.
What?
I can't say it. It's not kid appropriate.
What did he say?
I'll tell you after the fact. Does that conclude our discussion of the Snyder Cut?
Just one more thing. I think the epilogue felt like just scenes they didn't know what to do with.
Yeah, for sure. Apparently, Martian Manhunter was actually supposed to be Green Lantern originally, but then
I've heard that.
DC said no.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. The dream sequence was pointless. Whatever. It came out. Cool. I'm glad people liked the movie. I didn't. I'm sure it's better than the original. I haven't seen the original.
I kind of want to watch the original at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to sit through 6 hours total of Justice League, but
All right. Other news, other Lego news is that we're Lancelot talk about text-based leaks again. Yay!
I could always talk about them. But
Yeah, you could, but I can talk about them now, which means we can talk about the Marvel leaks from a little while ago.
yippee!
So what were they? I don't even remember.
I don't remember either.
Oh, sorry, not rumors. The Marvel rumors.
Nice.
All right, let me pull up some.
Honestly,
like,
I'm sorry, I don't know what they are.
I'm pulling up some like random Instagram leak account to check what they said. All right, so we're getting a buildable Infinity Gauntlet.
Yay!
Not gonna buy it. That's cool though. We got Marvel Avengers for $30.
What?
I don't know. That's just one of the leak names. It's just
Oh.
Marvel Avengers.
I'm gonna guess that's the Ragnarok house. So yeah, the $30 one is probably like the Asgard house. I've seen leaks that say it's gonna come with Korg, Thor.
Rumors, not leaks. We don't know
Right.
if they're real.
Rumors. They may or may not be real. They might be though. But
For the record, we have as much information as these leak pages. It's just they tend to be correct about these things.
they might not be, but they probably.
Yeah. Occasionally, it usually isn't that like sets are straight up wrong, but usually there might be like features of sets that are like they might get a minifigure wrong, or like more stuff will be included than they say.
I've seen more and less included than they say. I've also seen minifigures being very wrong.
Yes.
Do you remember a couple years ago there were like I think in 2018 or 19 there were some Star Wars leaks that were just completely wrong, but all the big leak pages were posting them.
No. What were they?
One of them was like a $30 Resistance transport shuttle, and it was gonna be like from Episode 8. One of them was a like $80 or $90 ship from the Clone Wars that was gonna come with Commander Cody and Captain Rex and some other like
Oh wow.
figures.
I've
And they
heard
were like
people
very detailed leaks.
Huh.
And they had set numbers and everything. So like I think that they might have been real at one point, but they were discontinued or something.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I will always be like mind boggled by that. Like
Yeah.
because those came out along with the Harry Potter rumors that were true.
Yeah.
If
That's
that-
really interesting.
That was before Harry Potter came back.
Oh, we'll probably get those sets when we get the Hall of Mirror.
We do have the Hall of Mirror. I just found it at Target a couple weeks ago.
You did actually, yeah.
But then what else do we have from Marvel?
The Black Panther Dragon Flyer.
Yeah, so I've seen the ship that it's based on. This one sounds like it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't have a Black Panther figure yet. I would like one. The fact that Shuri comes in the set too is pretty cool.
It would be nice if this has an alternate head. However, there are also rumors we're going to be getting a Marvel CMF later this year.
Yeah.
So, curious to see. My guess is that will be MCU. So,
Yeah. I hope so.
I really hope so.
Next, this is the one that I'm most excited about, is the Benatar from Guardians of the Galaxy, which comes with Star-Lord, Teenage Groot, Rocket Raccoon, Thor, Mantis, and a Chitauri. I would have preferred... I don't know if I would have preferred the Milano or not. Because the Milano I already... Ooh.
What?
Sorry, your audio just spiked for some reason.
I probably would have preferred a Milano because I already have a Benatar.
Well, I already have two Milanos and I only have one Benatar. However, I've had the Benatar more recently than I've had either of the Milanos. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Minifigure selection seems cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what these figures look like. I hope they use the Jurassic World Chris Pratt face.
Agreed. It's honestly way more accurate for him.
And I hope we get a new Drax. I hope this is an incomplete figure list.
Yeah.
Drax... I guess Drax and Nebula, really, because we have... Gamora was, dead at this point, probably.
I want to see this one, but this one I probably won't get because I don't need another Benatar.
Yeah.
Unless it's, really good interior.
I mean, it is, twice the price of the first one.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is. How much was it was, the old one was $70, wasn't it?
The old one was $70, but you also needed a $20 set to go along with it, so it's...
Okay, so it's $60 more than the first one.
It's $60 more, which is, significant, but also... I don't know. It could also like not be that much bigger.
It's not in the same scale, which makes me curious. Like I do want to see this. I will almost definitely get this one. I love the Guardians, so
I want to see it. The one I'm most excited for is I think the next one.
the Sanctuary 2.
No, not that one. Oh, okay, that's probably just gonna be like a micro scale build.
Yeah, Iron Man and Thanos. Cool. The Avengers Endgame Final Battle.
That one. This is the one I'm most excited for.
Smaller Avengers compound Ant-Man's van comes with Thanos with no helmet and rotatable head, Ant-Man microfigure, Captain America, Iron Man Mark 85, Thor with long hair, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, and Chitauri for $70. I got a feeling this set's gonna have great minifigures and a terrible build.
Yep.
If this build is good, this will be the best LEGO set ever created,
Yep.
and I know it won't be because it's LEGO Marvel. So,
But I want all of those figures. So
I'm curious how they're going to do the Thanos. I've seen lots of different theories. I really hope it doesn't look like a lot of the custom makers are doing it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I really like the people who make custom, like more power. Like obviously, customizing takes a lot of skill. I can't do it. It's just my personal preference. I don't like the Thanoses with the big round heads. I think that's weird. It doesn't look right to me.
agreed. I think it should have a. It would be cool if it was like a big Lego minifigure head with a stud.
So there's a few ways they could do it. They could do it like Kilo. They would have to shrink Thanos down a little, like smaller than the current Big Fig, but I think that would work.
But Thanos
if they
also
didn't-
isn't big fig sized.
Yeah. So I think they could do it like Kilo, and just give him a straight up minifigure head. That could be cool. Something interesting I've seen people propose is like having a separate head mold with like a Technic pin that connects into a hole and have it rotate on that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. And then you could swap his arms with his head.
I think it's. Oh yeah, I think it's about time we start getting big figs with movable heads.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think, yeah, I'm curious to see what this is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, these are probably June sets, so we'll know soon.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely exciting.
Will you get that one, even if it's a bad build?
We'll see. It depends on how great the figures are, because, I mean, again, a lot of these I already have. I want the Thanos. I have an Ant-Man microfigure. I know it's going to be a new Captain America, but I have a Captain America, and I don't care enough about Marvel to get every suit. Same with Iron Man. The Fat Thor will be cool, maybe. Scarlet Witch, I would like a new one of those, but again, I have two.
Yeah.
Black Panther, I don't have, but I might get the other set, and Chitauri could not care less about. So, maybe.
Why is Scarlet Witch in that set? Wasn't she dead?
No, this is based on Endgame.
Wasn't she dead in Endgame?
They all come back at the end of Endgame.
Wait, she came back to life?
Yeah, they all come back to life at the end of Endgame.
I don't remember that.
What do you mean? You don't remember when Hulk snaps again and brings everybody back?
Yeah, but I didn't think Scarlet Witch came back to life because she was like... She jumped over the edge.
No, that's Gamora.
No.
Yes.
The first time, Thanos threw Gamora over, but then the second time when they were getting...
That was Black Widow.
Oh, you said Scarlet Witch. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're thinking
yeah.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, okay, that's why I was messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Scarlett Johansson came in the previous Endgame set. Like the one that was released outside of the main wave. The helicopter.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The whole set was weird.
Alright, next we have Ironmonger Mayhem. Ironmonger is Hulkbuster size minifigures. Iron Man Mark III, Pepper Potts, Obadiah Stane.
This is the Iron Man 1 set.
Oh, really? It's based on Iron Man 1. That's pretty cool.
I'm excited to see what this looks like.
Yeah, I don't know about Hulkbuster size. That's a little big, but
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's cool they're making set on an old movie. I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah,
but...
honestly, Marvel's the kind of theme that needs a legacy line.
Yeah. That's funny that like Marvel doesn't get legacy, but Ninjago does.
I know. Like, I honestly feel like the MCU's at a point where it needs a legacy line because, like, if you're a kid and want like anything from any of the older movies that aren't coming out right now, you're like screwed.
And like half the movies never got sets. Like only recently did every set get like even when Lego had the Marvel license, not every movie got sets. Like Thor: The Dark World didn't get any sets.
It could have.
It could have.
Winter Soldier didn't.
Winter Soldier didn't. Iron Man 3 got many that were very inaccurate to the movie.
Yeah, that was a weird wave. One of them was like a firefighter truck, with the bat. Like the smallest one was like a weird fire truck, like it shot fire out of a crane in the back, and it was piloted by the Mandarin, who was not even the actual villain of that movie. Spoilers for Iron Man 3.
But there was a Don Cheadle figure in that wave, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was by far the best one too.
Yeah, in terms of the face print.
Yeah,
the other ones have had better. Like,
100%.
And then finally, this is the one that's most interesting to me, actually, is the Advent calendar.
Oh, yeah, we actually have info on that now.
Yeah, so the Iron Man ugly Christmas sweater, cool.
Yeah.
Spider-Man with his yellow jacket, cool.
I want that. I really want that.
Thanos, that's probably just the one from the Mac, but still cool. Black Widow, cool. Whatever. Thor, whatever. Captain Marvel, that's nice to get her. Nick Fury. It's just it's a really nice figure. You get so much here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I will probably get that one in addition to the Star Wars one this year.
Yeah, I'll probably get all 3 licensed ones this year.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get Harry Potter, but depends on if it's good. Do we have any information about the Harry Potter one?
I feel like it was confirmed that it's happening, but that's it.
Okay. Well, cool. Have we said it all? Has this been the podcast?
Shang-Chi, I know pictures leaked, but there's text leaks, right?
Nope.
Okay.
We can't talk about those. Those are big no-nos. I could pull it just too good and leave the LEGO Master Network, but I don't really want to.
Okay.
Alright, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Wu Crew Podcast. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed, please press like and subscribe if you're new. We do these every Wednesday for Sensei Wu Wednesday. We're recording this really late. I'm quite tired. I'm going to get to bed now. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Matthew.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye. And the tired's really hitting me right now.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm ready to. I'm gonna go shower and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, me too. So, what should we leave the viewers with?
A kiss goodnight.